Imagine waking up tomorrow, starting your normal day, drinking your coffee, checking your phone, walking outside, and suddenly, gravity disappears. Not forever, not for an hour, just for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds, the invisible force that keeps your feet on the ground, keeps oceans on Earth, and keeps our entire planet together, is gone. What would happen? Would people fly into space? Would buildings collapse? Would Earth survive? The answer is much crazier than you might expect. The first thing you need to understand is that gravity is everywhere. It is the reason you can walk, jump, sit in a chair, and even breathe normally. Without it, Earth would instantly become a completely different world. The moment gravity disappears, you probably wouldn't shoot into the sky like a movie superhero. Instead, you would slowly start floating. Your feet would leave the ground, your chair would rise, your phone could drift away from your hand. Suddenly, your home, your office, and the entire planet would feel like a giant spaceship. Millions of people would experience weightlessness at the exact same time. Some people would panic. Some would think it's a miracle. And some would probably try to record the craziest video ever made. But then, things would start getting serious. Imagine you are inside a car when gravity disappears. Your car depends on gravity to keep the tires touching the road. Without that force, your car would begin floating. But the scary part is that it would not stop moving instantly. Because of momentum, it would continue traveling in the direction it was already going. Roads would become a place filled with floating vehicles moving without control. Airplanes would face a completely different problem. They don't need gravity to stay in the air because their wings use air pressure to fly. But pilots would suddenly lose their normal sense of direction. There would be no clear feeling of up or down. The sky would become a confusing place. Now think about something much bigger. The oceans. Gravity is the reason billions of tons of water stay on Earth. Without gravity, the oceans would start moving away from the planet. At first, it might look beautiful. Imagine seeing giant waves lifting into the air, floating above Earth like a giant blue cloud. But this would be one of the most dangerous moments in human history. Because oceans are not just water. They control our weather, our climate, and support almost every living thing on Earth. And what about the human body? Would we explode? No. But our bodies would feel completely different. Our muscles, bones, and balance systems evolved because of gravity. Without it, your brain would become confused. Your body would feel like it is falling even though you are floating. Astronauts train for this feeling, but for normal people, it would be like entering an alien world. And remember, this is only the first few seconds. The biggest danger would not happen while gravity is gone. The real disaster would begin when those 10 seconds are over, because everything that floated away would suddenly come crashing back down. And when an entire planet falls back into place, the result would be something unbelievable. After 10 seconds, gravity comes back. And that is when the real chaos begins. Everything that was floating starts falling. People, cars, objects, water, and everything that escaped the Earth's pull would suddenly be dragged back down. Imagine millions of tons of water that started moving away from the planet. When gravity returns, that water would come crashing back toward Earth. Massive waves would hit coastlines. Cities near oceans would face extreme flooding. It would be like the biggest tsunami in human history happening all around the planet at the same time. And it wouldn't stop there. Buildings would also suffer. A building is designed to support weight under normal gravity. But during those 10 seconds, everything inside it would have moved. Furniture, glass, equipment, and people would suddenly slam back down. Tall buildings would shake from the sudden force. Some structures might survive, but many would be damaged. Now think about animals. Birds flying in the sky would suddenly lose the force pulling them down. They would float upward. Fish and sea creatures would experience something completely different as water started moving in strange ways. Every living thing on Earth would feel those 10 seconds. But here is the most surprising part. Earth itself would survive. The planet is huge. Gravity disappearing for only 10 seconds would not make Earth explode or break apart. The moon would not fly away. The atmosphere would not instantly disappear. But life on Earth would experience one of the most extreme events in history, a moment that would change science forever. Scientists would study it for centuries. People would tell stories about the day the world lost gravity, the day humans floated, the day oceans left the ground, the day Earth felt like another planet. And maybe the biggest lesson would be this: the forces we cannot see are sometimes the forces holding our entire world together. Gravity is invisible, but every second of your life depends on it. So the next time you walk, jump, or drop something on the floor, remember, you are not just standing on Earth. You are being held here by one of the most powerful forces in the universe. And that is what would happen if gravity disappeared for 10 seconds. Subscribe and like for more mind-blowing what-if stories that explore the impossible.